So we're going to talk about seats for a second, and I'm going to say something. Yes, this is a newer car, but Porsche seats don't change that much over time. I don't think you're going to get really better if you're not on a racetrack and you need something extreme that's going to hold you in place than the Porsche seat. Why? Because being a taller individual, these seats allow a nice tilt, which provide excellent thigh support, right? When you're sitting in the car. And as a result, also, there's bolstering here, but it's not too aggressive. What that means is if you're over 6 foot tall, 6'2", 6'4", whatever, as you try to get out the car, right? If you have a big bolster there, it limits the space that, for you to try to get out. You have to get over it, and on top of it, get your long legs out the car. This is the perfect setup, believe it or not, and I didn't realize how perfect it was until I put the aftermarkets in the 944. And I'll give you, so let me just show you getting in this car. First of all, if I want to step in, I can, but I usually just do the old man thing, sit down first and turn, right? And then in the car, you'll notice that I have some form of thigh support because I'm tilted back. And the nice thing that does also, because I have the seat furthest back, is it gives me clearance for my knee. So my knee doesn't touch anything as I drive. I'm about 6'2" tall, okay? Not about, I am 6'2". So that's great. Now, again, noticing where the bolster is, I open the door. I can open it all the way just for this video. All right, I have, let me see if I can zoom out. Decent space, and it matches closely to where the door opening is to get out the car. So I can 1 foot, 2 foot step out the car very easily. Nice, right? Really underrated. I love the seats for the comfort and the practicality combined, and they are spectacular. I mean, that was 2007. Now, coming over to the new seats, these are Cypher seats that I got online. I mainly got them because I wanted to try to color match, which I got close to, the back seats and the rest of the interior. These are different from the more aggressive seats that I have in my yellow 944. And I wanted something a little bit more relaxed for long trips. I like the little back with the white on it too. It kind of keeps the theme of the car. So the idea is the yellow car is so aggressive, it's hard for me to take like a 4-hour trip. And I was wanting to take that car back and forth to Miami. And it's just, the problem is it squeezes you, the butt area is too small. But let's get to these seats. So with these seats, it's great because the butt area isn't too small and you have these nice side bolsters, but it is more flat and not tilted or raked in any way. Now I can change that if I put some small bolts, probably in the front of the seat where the seat mates to the bracket. I could put some thick washers on there to try to compensate and give it a tilt if I really need to. It may require different bolts also. But that's one of the big differences. The second difference is now look, because I have these kind of like sport seat bolsters, I've limited my distance between how I get in and out the car. Because again, now it's a lot smaller. Add on top the awesome design language of Porsche to put the e-brake on the outside. Why? Who knows exactly why? I don't like to criticize Porsche for anything. But so anyway, so let's do this thing again. I'm gonna sit down now, but look, now I got less room. Get over the e-brake into the seat. And as I sit, close the door. Awesome sound. First thing you notice is I'm right here a little bit. So the problem that I foresee is that on longer trips that my knee is going to get tired from being right here. I can get like a pad or something if I want to. It's going to mess the aesthetics of the car up a little bit, but that's the thing. And also, this being 80s car, it has a bigger wheel. I could go with a smaller wheel, But what I like is to be able to see all my gauges through the wheel. I think that's incredibly important. I just love that. And it may change eventually. It might try to do something different, but I just hate the block gauges that the 911 a lot of times suffers from. So you look here and there's more of a gap. And I'm not going to turn the camera right now, but the more of a gap between the thighs, which is an issue, because then I'm going to experience somewhat leg fatigue after a time. And also I'm sitting a little bit higher. This is my viewage point because I'm not tilted back. So I'm starting to run into a little bit of this up here. So just things to consider when you're looking at seats. I think in here, actually, if I had where like in the 944 seats, the yellow one, these are more aggressive and set inside, it would cause my legs to be a little bit more closer together. That would put more pressure on the outside of my leg and cause fatigue, but it would also hold it in place from hitting this right here in particular. So yeah, so these are great seats. I think that, you know, the quality is pretty good. I'm not going to complain over like little stuff like that because it's going to be wear and tear, but that's a stitching issue where you stretch the stitch on the pattern a little bit. It wasn't as great. And there's a little bit over here. It's okay to add patina. These weren't necessarily cheap seats either. So that's the only thing I would say about that, but I did make an offer on the brand new seats off of eBay and I got them I want to say a couple $100 cheaper than what the pair was attempting to be sold at. So that was a great benefit. But overall, very pleased with the seats. But there is a difference, and I'm going to show you again getting out the car. Again, it's a little bit of a challenge. So here, side, bolster on my way. So what this makes it hard to do is definitely in parking lots, going to the grocery store, things like that. I'm not going to always be able to open the door this far open, nor do I really want to park that close to anybody with either of these cars, especially with this car because I love the paint on it. So it means you're going to have to park, for me, further out. This is fine. This is not what you really call my grocery getter. But yeah, that's the deal on the seat. So hopefully that gives you some good information depending on your height, how tall you are, what's important to you, track the timing, like how long are you going to be the seat time in the car. You know, if the seat is too tight, kind of like in the yellow 944, you can see other videos for those seats. You're going to experience more fatigue as you drive 45 minutes to an hour. I'm pretty much ready to get out of that car and take a break. These seats will be more comfortable, but because they're more comfortable, the other features of the car may cause some issue. But I'm still going to keep these seats for now. I'm going to look at, I didn't want to just reupholster these because they were in such bad shape, especially the driver's seat. The kits were there, but I was really worried about the shrinkage of the foam here, which you can put a new cover on it, but if the foam is shrunk, then you know you're gonna have these gaps still, which I didn't want to deal with, and I didn't want to look at aesthetically for that reason. So that's why they didn't go into the car right now. But at some point, I may try. The biggest thing I'll do is take out these center cushions, take some like a steamer, steam them to see if I can get the foam to come back to shape. If I can, great. Then I might go ahead and order the covers and give it an attempt, see how I like it. If not, I might try to cut a piece of foam, see what it looks like to get back. And then, you know, if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. But yeah, great. Looks comfortable. If you're taller, not the most thigh support because they're not tilted. These are just the business, bro.